In this tutorial, you will learn about the Java shortcut operators, the increment and decrement operator, and the assignment operator. We will also talk about operator precedence when evaluating expressions. The increment and decrement operators add or subtract 1 to the contents of a variable. This statement creates an int variable count with the default value of 0. This statement adds 1 to the value of count. So now count contains the value 1. So it adds 1 to count and puts the value back in to the variable. This statement is equivalent to the increment operator. 1 is added to count and then assigned back into the variable count. So now count contains 2. This statement decrements the value of count by 1. Count now contains the value 1. This statement creates an int variable mynum with a default value of 0. And then be careful when you evaluate the expression on the right. How this expression will be evaluated is the contents of count will be first placed into mynum and then count will be incremented. Count contains 1, so that value is assigned to mynum and then count is incremented. After this statement is executed, count contains 2 and mynum contains 1. This is a common error students make. There is no such thing as a plus 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 operator. Some students think that this would be the way to add 2 to a variable, but this doesn't exist in Java. There's a shortcut operator we can use to perform an operation on a variable and then store the results back into the same variable. These are called assignment operators, and here's a chart listing all of the operators. For example, this statement takes the value of count and divides it by num and then puts the result back into count. We can use a shortcut assignment operator to perform the same task. Count divided by equals num. This takes the value of count, divides it by num, and assigns the result back into count. You can use these assignment operators to evaluate complex expressions. In this example, we'll take the contents of count and multiply it by the quantity plus num, and then store the results back into count. We can use the shortcut operator multiply equals to perform the same task. The same rules apply when using the plus operator with string objects. When one operand is a string, the plus symbol is treated as concatenation. In this example, we'll create a reference variable s1, and then we'll create an object with the characters hi. The address of the object is placed into the variable s1. This shortcut operator will convert the integer 3 into a string object and then concatenate the contents of s1 with the string 3. The new object is created with the characters hi3 and its address is now placed back into s1. Garbage collector comes by and deletes the original object from memory. In this statement, 4 plus 5 is evaluated first, and the result is then converted to a string, since s1 is a string object. The contents of s1 are concatenated with the value 9 to create a string object with the characters hi39. The address of this object is then placed into s1, and the original object is deleted by the garbage collector. Here's a table with operator precedence when evaluating expressions in Java. The highest operators are the increment and decrement and not operators, followed by multiplication, division, and mod, and then addition and subtraction, and then the inequality operators, the equality and not equals operators, followed by and or, and then the assignment operators have lowest precedence. We will talk about these two operators in an upcoming video, but you'll want to be careful when using and or. And is evaluated before or. In this tutorial, you learned about the Java shortcut operators, the increment and decrement operator, and the assignment operator. We also talked about operator precedence when evaluating expressions.